A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew chapter 10 verses 7 to 15. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. Go to the lost, confused people right here in the neighborhood. Tell them that the kingdom is here. Bring health to the sick, raise the dead, touch the untouchables, kick out the demons. You have been treated generously, so live generously. Don't think you have to put on a fundraising campaign before you start. You don't need a lot of equipment. You are the equipment. And all you need to keep that going is 3 meals a day. Travel light. When you enter a town or a village, don't insist on staying in a luxury inn. Get a modest place with some modest people and be content there until you leave. When you knock on a door, be courteous in your greeting. If they welcome you, be gentle in your conversation. If they don't welcome you, quietly withdraw. Don't make a scene. Shrug your shoulders and be on your way. And you can be sure that on the judgment day, they will be mighty sorry. But it's no concern of yours now. The Gospel of the Lord. Reflections on the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 10 verses 7 to 15. Give freely what you have received freely. St. Paul would ask, what do you have that you have not received? All that I have received, including my life, is given to me. Therefore, the gospel today is a straight talk of Jesus to you and me. Without cost you have received. Without cost you are to give. Salvation cannot be bought. We know that. There is no special mention needed. But sometimes we try to bribe God. How often do we offer special prayers, fast, do penances, pray a novena, and do works of charity to obtain a special grace? But be careful, this is not done to pay or buy a grace. These prayers and works of charity helps us instead to open our hearts so that God's grace might enlighten us. God's grace does not depend on our good deeds or merits. Instead, He gives them to us freely and in abundance. Our life is not our own. It is given to us by God the Father. In His love, He has given us life. Thus, the Word of God reminds us today, you have received everything free, and now learn to give away everything free. And this is our mission. Through our life examples, announce to the brothers and sisters the joy of the message of mercy and compassion of God. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse lepers, drive out demons, the Gospel says. There is a huge challenge that awaits every Christian. When we profess to be Christians, we commit ourselves to be on the go. A Christian cannot remain idle and lazy because laziness is against the vocation to be a disciple of Christ. Our vocation is to serve and not to make use of the people of God. The priests and the parishes have come under the scanner in the recent past for demanding a fees for services held in the church. Sacraments of baptism, first communion, marriage, or any other church service have become expensive ceremonies. If a church or a priest demands for a fees for services, it is not service anymore. And it is against the will of Christ because Christ's mission is to serve. When the church services are available for a price, the faithful fail to recognize the celebration of the sacraments as extraordinary moments of grace of God. And we run the risk of slipping up on the question of payment as if we needed to bribe the Lord. No. The kingdom is intended to be shared, communicated, disseminated to all, particularly those who cannot pay with anything. It is worth a lot, but it does not cost anything. It is received as a token of God's crazy love. Let us share what we have received with that crazy love.